Alrighty, today I'm going to show you how to go ahead and send a one-time document to a client. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate to MindMatter, and I am going to utilize the send button document, same as what you would use if you had a template to select. But instead of selecting a template, what we're going to do is utilize this upload box, and it actually says upload and send one-off document. This is very important for documents that you don't need to reuse. You just wanted to make perhaps a particular one for one client. Let's see here. I'm going to add this example document. And the reason why is because it allows me to use multiple options here that you'll find. So these are draggable field types. What you'll do, and odds are you'll just have a signature, but you have different options that you can utilize. For example, text. I'm going to drag this over to where I see name. And you do have the option as the firm user, the person that's going to fill this out before the client receives it, to allow this to remain as a text box from the firm user. That means you have to enter this name yourself. Now, if we click here and we select the field set by merged from matter, we can actually choose full name. And there it is. You can type it in or you can scroll, but it's easier if you know what you're looking for. So there's full name, so that will be first and last. And I've hit done. Let's drag text over one more time. Down here we have department. I'm going to shorten this a little bit. Now department, we don't have a set field for. There's nothing that exists already. So if you would like to, we're going to keep this as firm user, and we're going to label this department. Okay. All right, we're done. Now I could duplicate this and put this in another section, and I can adjust it to say purchase for this section here. And I'll click done, and there you have it. Now let's move on to the next one. Text area gives you a large box. And this is great for if you're asking them for a list of information, a lot of information, anything that would require a large portion of text. Let's do the checks. So if I drag a check over, let me just make that a little bit smaller, and I'm going to set that right there. And I am going to say that the firm user has to check this. Now I want to make multiple of these for each of these sections. So I'm going to keep on clicking duplicate. There we have it. There it is, and I'm going to hit done. There they are. Now let's go ahead and introduce a date. So I'm going to drag over date. And what I'm going to do is open up this field set by, and you can see now we have three options. You can either type in the date yourself, you can merge it from a field that already exists, for example, initial consultation date, or you can select current date, which is whatever the date is when the client opens up this form. So I'm going to say current date. Now I'm going to drag number over so you can see what that looks like. Perhaps we'll put this here. And again, we can add it or we can merge it from a matter. Odds are is you're going to add it yourself. Now let's do the money field. We have this perfect place for it right here. So let's say we're adding a money field, and let's not type it in ourselves. What we're going to do is merge it from matter. So we're going to take the total case value, which is the estimated case value here, and we're going to pull in that field. Now, You may be asking, well, Erica, how do we have this person sign? Well, we have to add signers first. So let's open up the e-signature settings. And what we'll do here is we'll either select a firm signer, a regular signer, or both. And let's start with regular signer. When you add a regular signer, this is typically what you would use for your client. So I'm going to say client 1. Alternatively, you could say spouse 1. Keep in mind they do see this. And apply settings. Now you can confirm that you do have a signer attached because it says up here in the top right, your total signers is 1. Have we assigned anything to this signer? No. Let's add one more signer. Let's say we're going to add our attorney here. So let's say lead attorney. And in addition, I'm going to add one more regular signer. So let's say client number 2. And apply the settings. So now we have 3 total signers, and again, nothing is assigned to them. So let's say here, reviewed by manager director, this little section, let's add a signature here. We're going to do the same thing and drag the signature portion, which is now available to us along with initials, over on the left side. Just be careful with this. Sometimes the box, if you adjust the size, will blow up, and then there's no way of fixing that unless you start over. So just keep that in mind. We'll do little increments, and that's enough. Okay, now it's going to ask you who is signing here. Let's say this is for our lead attorney, so I'm going to click lead attorney, and I'm going to say it is required. Done. Okay, so now we have one signer with a box to themselves, and I'm going to add another signature here, and this one's going to be for client 1. Take note of the color coordination. If I chose another signature box for the lead attorney, it would come out gray. So this one for client 1 will be yellow. And let's say we duplicate that, and client 2 also has to sign. And there you see it is color-coded as red. All right, let's talk initials. So let's drop some initials here. Same situation. We'll just go ahead and select who is doing the initial. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'll bring in client number 2. And I'll click done. And there you have it. And now there's no red error box popping up at the top because all of our clients and other signers have been assigned. Okay? As long as they have one section that they have to interact with, this form will work. So then we save the document. And from here, we can go ahead and fill out the rest of this. So this is what the name of the form is called. You can adjust it. Perhaps you have an abbreviation or an internal name for this form. You can rename it questionnaire. The requester is defaulted to whoever is creating this, but you can also choose another person to request it. You can also opt in to create a deadline. So I'm going to pick Friday for myself. Now it's not necessary, and if you wanted it to be removed, you can click this X here. Now if you do put on a deadline and they try to access this form that you've sent them through the email that they receive after the deadline, they will not be able to access it. All right, so below we see the roles that we created. These are our signers. So our lead attorney, we will indicate, let's put Jeff in there. Actually, let's put Ryan so he doesn't get a notification. And then we have client 1, which it defaults to our point of contact here. And then client 2, you can choose an existing contact, or you can create one straight from this view. So if you create one, you're creating a new contact in the People section under Lawmatics. This is the same function. You can also create a new company and a new matter. Okay? All right. You are required to enter an email subject and message, and it can be as simple as, please sign. Here is our questionnaire that we discussed. And go ahead and click on Prepare Document. Now, when we indicated that we had firm signer needed to enter certain information, this is where they would do that. So you can see that all the other fields have been inputted, the estimated case value, the full name, and the current date. Now we have department, we will say operations. Purchase is going to be laptops, text area, and then I'm going to check one of these. This is where labels come into play. It's easier to have labels for ACH, check, or whatever you're checking off. Lastly, we'll enter a number, and that shows up right here where we put the field. At the end of the day, you just want to go ahead and send, and this document will go out to all the signers via email, including the firm signer. If you travel to files within the matter, you can see that I did send in the purchase request form today at 2:39, and it is currently unsigned. The moment one person signs, it will start to say partially unsigned, or partially signed, I should say. And when it is complete, an email will go to all signers indicating that the document has been signed by all parties, and it will pop up in here, fully signed. And that's how you do that.